Hi guys, here we are starting a stream and I'm going to solve some problems from chess.com and as I'm solving them, saying my thinking process and proposing some moves, and of course if there are some mistakes, just digging up to see what was the problem, where we went wrong, and learning something, of course. So in this case, the queen is attacking the rook, so this is a serious threat. Of course, the most active way to defend is not moving the rook, but defending this queen while defending the rook while attacking the queen, and of course pointing at this point. So the one who is going to lose the rook is black. I think this is the solution. And now, yeah, we could insert a check. Maybe checking is good, yes, so that the queen cannot go here, but in this case we can pin the queen. So let's grab the pawn. We are going to pin the queen, and that's it. So this would be the first puzzle. Let's go on. This rook just moved out of danger, and let's analyze. Let me just check one moment and see how the stream is doing. We are doing fine. Yeah, great. So let's go here. In this case, we have to count the material, and we have the same pieces, two rooks and two minor pieces, even though white has the bishop pair, but the difference here is 4 extra pawns. The good thing is our pieces are very active, and here we have a coordination. Bishop and rook are coordinating in this pawn, and we have a windmill scenario. Wait a minute. Yeah, this should be crushing. Check. And now, for instance, picking up this rook. Thing here is he can advance this pawn and this pawn. So we have only one move. He can cover, but this move is going to be just too much. We go here. We are going to pick up material. We could also do this and try to checkmate him here, so he would have just no, but he could cover. So it's simply this move, picking up the rook. There goes the bishop as well, and winning with material. So we did it. Let's go next. So in this case, black pick up a pawn here, attack the queen, a battery, and white has less material. I'm pretty sure the light squares are a little bit weak. The positioning of the black king is weird, at least. So let's see. If we go here, do we get something? Yeah, because this rook could come here, so we get out the queen out of the way, check. If the king moves up, we go here, You could use the rook to cover, and then what? We pick up the rook, and after the queen, what if king takes? The queen goes there and is checkmate. And if queen takes, we bring this rook here, and the queen is pinned. So it should be this move. Going there, of course, this rook always. King doesn't have anywhere to go. We take the rook, and then he has to take with the queen. We pin, and taking the queen, and that's it. Well done, well done. We have already solved two puzzles. So let me see. Hey, what do you think about the music, eh? Not bad. In this case, let's check the last move. Okay, it's clear. He's threatening to checkmate us. The only problem is that we can do that faster. This king doesn't have squares to get out, but if we just go here and try to checkmate this king, because the king cannot escape because the rook is cutting this f file, if we go here, black has this reply, and we won't have anything better than taking the queen. The rook would pick up the queen back, and we are worse in a draw is endgame. We have something better, is giving a check but from a different square, this one. So we go here, get the tempo on the king. King has to go inside to the edge file, and then give up this check. Not this one, not this one. The queen could pick up the queen, and this rook is pinned. We would be losing the endgame, rook against queen, but the light square. And then the queen has to go to the same square, but with the queen. This rook is pinned. It's not playing. It's just the only thing he can do is against the king without moving. So it's passively cutting out the king, but that's it. And supporting this square, which is a lot, but we give up this check, everything with the queen. So let's go. Another puzzle. Okay, this time we have this square, of course. The only thing is bishop with the bishop or with the queen. And usually you want to use the queen for that, and this is not going. It's not going to be an exception. Or check. I don't know if having the bishop here is an advantage or not. See, here is after this check, the king is going to end up here. After this check, what about this? Oh my god. It's tricky, I think, with the queen. After that, we are going to analyze the bishop and see what happens there. We do this. Of course, the bishop here. Yeah, that's it. And it's not about bringing the queen here, but taking this pawn. No squares for the king. I'm picking up the rook. Checkmate. That's it. Even though sometimes you want to use the bishop, but this was what's going on? Analyze. This is what's going on. Okay. This is a blunder because after this I guess that now he just covered and we have a problem here. Yeah, he can defend with the queen. Okay, not right. The right idea was with the queen going here, bishop, and picking up this pawn. This was the key. And there is no defense. This queen cannot contribute to the defense. So let's go back. Here we are. Our next puzzle. Okay, this square is using. If the knight jumps here, it's a 4, queen and king, but the rook can pick up the knight. Yes. We have this. Okay. What about... Oh my god. Look at this. Okay, yes, I'm thinking about this square. Thinking of this square for the king, for the knight. And this queen is taking out this square from the king. The king has only 3 squares and the one where it is right now. But 3 of the 4 squares are covered. Queen covering the light square and the bishop the dark squares. If this knight delivers this check, it would be checkmate, but only if the queen weren't there. Okay, so even though the queen is forced to take, and then we have this square to infiltrate and deliver a check that is a killer. The queen would be covering these 3 squares and delivering check, and this square is covered by the bishop, so the queen has to come back to cover and we deliver checkmate there. So knight here, a brilliant move, just to be able to occupy this square that before was controlled by the queen. A deflection tactic. Now let me check one thing. Let me check one thing. Here. Okay. Let's see. In this case, the queen has done a small move going up to the second rank. And now we are a bishop for rook exchange in favor of black. This bishop is staying at a rook, It could be it could be exchanged for these 2 pawns, but I don't know. After this, pam pam pam, and there is this move, but it could be taken. So there is not this move. Still, is there something better? Okay, let's say he doesn't have this move because we could take the rook. What would be momentarily pinned, but we take, and you cannot pick up the rook because it's defended by this rook and the queen. So you would take the queen, and you can take here twice. Not like this. Come on, here twice, and in this case it would be a rook versus bishop with a totally and 2 pawns extra for black. So we could exchange here. Do we gain anything? So the queen has to move, and if it moves we get this square. Okay, and what? I don't know. We can also pin this bishop with this move, but after this there is a fatal discovery here, picking up the queen. So this cannot be a good move due to this reply. It would be too much. So I think to make progress is taking the bishop, but still this queen, which squares does it have? Here, here, and going down is not an option due to this check. So the 2 forward squares, this one and this one, okay. And then we deliver a check, and we pick up this bishop, exchange queens, and pick up a bishop, and we get 2 extra pawns. We lose this bishop for this one and 2 pawns. It should be this one. Brilliant move. This move doesn't work, we know it. We rule this out. Problem here is you want to pick up this queen, but the rook is pinned right now due to this bishop, but this bishop is very, very strong, so we give up the queen and pick up this one, and we have a totally winning endgame. Let's move on to another puzzle. A rook endgame. Okay. Yeah. This pawn is very, very dangerous. So I think the whole idea here is to make a shield between this rook and this pawn. The only piece that can shield this pawn is the rook. So something is going on. So we can gain a tempo because this rook has a big responsibility to protect this pawn. But rooks belong behind pawns, behind pass pawns. There, this rook behind the pass pawn is better than laterally, and laterally is better than in front of the pass pawn. So we are going to do this maneuver. Check. This doesn't do anything because we were controlling this square, and we shield. and that's it. What about checks? Yeah, you can give up some checks. We go here, check, here up, oh no, not here up, here, check, and then we don't go here, but to these squares we make progress up, 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 till the rook doesn't have anything to do. Or the best that the rook can do is go here and gives itself for the pawn. So to prolong the game, but it was over. So let's move forward. Okay. Oh, we have a tactic, guys. Every time we have a knight and a queen converging to this square, to this f2, c2, c7 or f7 square, where the king is castled, especially in short castling. The knight can jump here. The only problem is, okay, yeah, but the rook can exchange and there is a lot of material, but the key here is this queen is pressuring this rook, and this rook has a responsibility of protecting this rook as well as defending this square. Cannot do both. Even giving up this rook would be okay if there were a way, if this pawn weren't there and you can, let's say, defend with the queen here, it would be even okay, but it's not the case. So we go there with the knight, pick up this rook, pick up the knight, and pick up the rook. And if you were wondering, but why? Why not? Yeah. Why not? Why? Okay, we have to go here. Why not moving the king here? Then you have this this is mother check with the queen. So in this point, at this point, this is a double check. So the knight cannot be taken because it's checked with the knight and with the queen, and it's too late to defend with the rook. It's just too late. So you have to go here, and the key here is this knight is attacking this and these squares, controlling these two squares. If the queen were defending, or any piece were defending this square apart from this root, this tactic doesn't work. For instance, let's say with a knight here defending this square, this tactic wouldn't work. But in this case, this is the only defender of this square, so we deflect this rook. At the same time, this is the only legal move, because the knight is defending the queen, so the king cannot take the queen. Rook has to take, and we deflect this rook from defending this square, as well as suffocating the king, and we have the smothered checkmate. This is the key. That's why here the rook took, because in the end it's going to be checkmate with the same moves, different order or different sequence. So yeah, nice job. Let's see. Last move of black was taking the knight while repairing the pawn structure. What's wrong with that? The king is very weak, and we can deliver check here. So you have to look for these forcing moves. The king only has this legal move. And what? Yeah, we are delivering checkmate here because we check. King has two options: going here, checkmate here, or going here and checkmate here. Shoulder checkmate. The rooks doesn't allow the king to move laterally, and the queen covers the three squares in front of the king as well as delivering a check. And it will be checkmate. So let's go for it. We go with the queen. We have a battery and also controlling this square. Bam, bam. Let's go. Queen moves back. But why not? He cannot castle, but why not? Maybe bishop here. I'm pinning, but okay. The queen move away from this file, but there is the king. So yeah, this move is pretty serious. Bam. The queen is going to fall, and the bishop as well. The cool thing is that the queen cannot defend here because this would be checkmate. The queen is pinned, you are getting checked, and this file is controlled now by the rook. So by this rook. Oh, by this rook. So it's cool because when you jump with the knight here, you're attacking a potential checkmate. So only let's say decent move, try to pick up the knight with the pawn and say, okay, both have we both have a bishop and two rooks. The problem is that this bishop is controlling this square, so then the rook can jump. We are picking this bishop with the two piggies, the rooks on the 7th rank, and this is just too much. Let's go for it. Let's see. We take the queen with check, and now let's go for this bishop. And that's it. Yes, it's working out. Knight back. Usually going back is too passive and usually a bad move. Maybe this could have been a better move. But these pieces, the rook is unprotected, this rook is unprotected, this knight is unprotected. If going here, of course, the king in the center. Of course, black has an extra minor piece, but yeah, in this sense, it looks very, very passive. And probably, oh my god, and the king doesn't have many squares. So the thing here is this queen right now has this legal, so this legal move. The queen has these two diagonals to move. The problem here is, in reality, these squares are covered by the knight, so queen can go here, here, and here. Till there is okay. This square is very important to be controlled by the queen. And or it is, oh my god, yeah. Is he saving the queen? I was thinking about this move. Going here is not working because this beautiful checkmate. So the only move would be this one. The problem is, if we jump, we would have discovery attacking the unprotected queen, but the queen can't take the knight. This is the problem. So it's controlling this square. But if we go here, if the queen goes here, the knight would be forking the queen. It would be winning, but the queen could go also forward. And I don't know about the possible continuation here. Yep. So let me check. With the queen here, we could deliver check and pick up this bishop at least. So it would be it wouldn't be the queen, it would be the bishop and extra attack. The knight would come back here, we can coordinate knight and queen. It's totally winning. I was thinking maybe winning the queen was the idea. I think this is the move. Let's see. This is right. We don't have access to this square yet, but after this... Oh, why not here? I don't understand it. Okay, because the knight is too powerful, maybe. Check, picking up the queen. Okay, we did it. We did it. So, rook takes rook. Let me check. One thing. Okay. So, whoop, here we are. So we have here rook takes rook, but look at this battery. Queen and rook, with the queen in front of the rook. Ooh, very, very powerful. Without the queen supporting the rook here, it would be checkmate due to this knight there. But in this case, we cannot do this because the queen would take the rook and wouldn't have anything better than picking up the queen, losing the game for due to insufficient material to finish the game. But here is so cool because we can do this move, deflect the rook from the defense of f7 and deliver a check, forking queen and king, but more importantly, the king cannot escape because the rook would be covering this square. A queen sacrifice. Let's see if it works. Yeah, brilliant move. And the idea is not converging here, but deflecting the rook. This knight, the MVP of this position. Crazy. Let's go. Next puzzle. Okay, this rook is hitting the queen, hitting hard, and apparently black is in trouble. Queen the king is very weak, these rooks are very active. It's going to happen something. We have to act quickly, but this knight and this bishop hidden here on a8 are going to do the job. We have a check, and how we finish, if the king moves here, is checkmate here in 1 with the queen. This knight would be covering or supporting these two squares. What happens if the king goes here? We have the bishop here. Should we just pick up this rook and claim that this is a lot of material and we are winning just because you don't have enough? I think this is the case. So we are going to pick up this pawn. And I don't see a checkmate here. I don't see any follow-up apart from picking up this rook. And of course, this is the way forward. Let's go! Next. Woo! This last move. What is going to do? This naughty queen. This rook. Probably an attack here. Maybe it's not enough, but can create some problems to the king. Okay. Okay. This queen, okay, the pawn couldn't take, of course. But what can we do? Yeah, crossing through. Crossing through. La, 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 la. We have this square for the queen. Of course, if we go here and black goes to any of these squares, we have a quiet move that is a killer. A rook lift going to this square that, but by the way, cannot be defended. Checkmating 1. So not good for the king. So after this move, I expect king going backwards, and then what? Then what? Getting crashing through with the rook, pam pam, picking up this rook. The king goes here up, check, and we are for king, queen, and king. Queen takes check, and we are just winning, for instance. Okay, this should be the move. Let's cross through, check, 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 and we're winning. Great. Okay, this knight could have come to the defense, but yeah, position is hopeless. Let's go. Let's move forward. What? Does that? Okay, interesting. What about this knight? Can we just take it? I don't understand this move. He's not attacking anything. There is no discovery. The knight is not in a light square, so I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. We are going to pick up the knight. And yeah, the queen, the bishop, and be careful, this bishop has a responsibility to gain a tempo and protect the king. Now there is no check, so we can come back. We're defending the bishop. We consolidate. He can win this pawn, but this endgame is completely won. Let's move forward. Okay, changing there. Why is this so deadly? We can take here, threatening checkmate. If you move a pawn to cover this diagonal, I infiltrate with this bishop. The attack is incredible, very, very strong. If by the contrary you move forward the pawn, I pick up this pawn with check, and then this pawn is also falling. I mean, it's just a pawn. No! Wait a minute. It was a misclick, of course. Let's retry, okay? Let's get another chance with the queen, okay? And then we pick up this pawn, and this pawn is also falling. Why is this better than, I mean, this is a mistake, pick up here. Why not this? It's a slightly worse. It is slightly worse, because if you move, I think we have this crazy move, and the position is just collapsing. That's why the attack comes so fast. You would be losing the exchange whenever you want. This move as a responsibility is just crazy. The attack is just too much. Okay, let's go back and move forward. Another puzzle. So the knight is saved and attack the rook. This is the last move. Okay, we are checking that. Now we are analyzing the position. We are playing with black at this time, and we are down a rook, but the activity of our pieces is, this bishop is out of the game, that's for sure. It's not doing anything, cannot attack. The pawn structure is blocking it, but we could give up a pawn if it wouldn't be suicidal, but this is not the idea. It's about queen, knight, and this rook. And the first move that we have to consider is a rook check laterally, and with this queen here, the king would have to go to the corner, which is already something. And then what? And then we could potentially come here with the queen, and we have the file. We are attacking this pawn on h2 with the queen and with the rook. How do you defend that? You can go here, but it's just momentarily. You can go here, but it's just momentarily. Or you can fight and say, I give you a check. Fair enough. Or, yeah, a check, and then you have this check. Is this enough to save the position? We could take this pawn, but we activate this queen here. Maybe not. So we can go here. we could step up. He could check here. We could I think it's getting too complex somehow. And with the rook here, he could defend the rook. What am I missing? The king cannot go here, of course. The queen is blocking, so with the queen here, only have this square or this square, but this square is bad because it's blocking the attack of the queen, so white would have some breathing time to do anything else. So no. Something is off, a little bit off. But we can. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, it's not working. Okay. Crazy. I was thinking just the coordination of this knight and this rook could be unstoppable. So I was thinking of queen coming here, and if knight comes here, jumping with the knight here, but the rook is also there with the knight with the queen with the king here in the corner. So somehow not working. And the bishop is also covering this square, but for the moment. So rook here, king back. Here, check to up. Check, go up. Oh, it's crazy. Then there is a check here. Here. No, I think this is the way forward. I don't see anything else. Or just this. Oh my god. Why am I complicating things? This square is very good for the king, and this was bugging me. This, just this. Oh my god. What am I doing? And that's it. A. You are going to get checkmate if you go there, so just pick up the queen. So let's go. Crazy, eh? Not the last puzzle was interesting. I was thinking creatively because I didn't find the square, the perfect square for the queen, forming a battery. I don't know why. It skipped my mind when I was thinking. And of course, the tactics were not working in this sense. So here, why this move? This bishop has a responsibility of protecting this rook. So the rook is defended twice. So you cannot take twice here because the bishop is there. So in this sense, if you pick up the knight, you are losing the rook, and of course the game. So what's happening here? That what we are going to do is something different. Is we are taking the the rook, the queen would be defending the knight, but look at the queen. Now the queen is overloaded, defending both pieces, and this queen would be pressuring the rook. This knight, so this bishop is pressuring the knight, so too much for the queen. There goes the knight and the rook. Yeah, we did it. We did it. Okay, picking up this pawn, that is splitting the structure as well. What is the downside? Why is this a bad move? Undeveloped. It's a little bit undeveloped, and this knight had to be moved. And then have this square. I don't know. There were better moves for sure, but what's the problem? The problem is this pawn here. This pawn, and we are going to check the king. The king has to go to the corner because this bishop and queen is doing a crisscross, and in the corner, what? You can just go here and claim the bishop is defending this square, but is what white is thinking is, okay, I can defend laterally, but not the bishop. The queen is here, the queen is blockading this square, and you are going to deliver a checkmate with the bishop. This is the whole idea. Let's go here. Defending like this. Oh my god. No, but this is not a defense. Wait a minute. The pawn is there. Yeah. Okay, I thought he wanted to defend like this, but yeah. Let's go. The rooks are seeing each other. And here, of course, the rook has taken a pawn. This king is very, very passive. The king, if the rooks are exchanged, the king is going to pick up all these pawns, create a pass pawn, pick up this pawn, go to the queen side and finish the game. The only thing is, you only need a pass pawn that is unstoppable to win such an endgame. And here we have a 3 versus 2. So let's count. We exchange rooks, and this is a king and pawns versus king and pawns endgame. Can we create here something or not? Okay, we would start with this pawn. The king tried to defend. We attack this pawn, trying to create a pass pawn here, but oh, come on. But the king can step up. And here is it. Now we move forward, and this pawn is the key. The pawn is already passed, or is going to be, and can be passed by taking this pawn. This is the end of the change, the weakest pawn in the white pawn change, or move forward. The king here cannot stop both ideas. So the only resource of white is taking this pawn, but we create an even more dangerous pawn, pass pawn, this one. And look who is blocking the pass of the king here that need this square to be within this 3 by 3 square, stopping this pass pawn, the black pass pawn. This pawn would be blocking, so I think we have it. And exchange work, we have to go step by step, and this is the key. Now, okay, the king steps up. Okay, interesting. So I didn't count on this idea. Interesting. Because if I take, you go here and defend, but after taking, this is just too much, or the king can defend this. Oh my god, am I missing something? No, let me see. If we pick up this pawn, he takes this pawn and wins. Have to take this pawn. Thing is, this king has this responsibility, but we are picking up this pawn, and this, let's see in the analysis bar. Okay, we have done this sequence, bam, this sequence, pam 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 pam. This is a good defensive result by white, but we pick up 2 pawns. Okay, and now it's like, okay, I have to defend this square, so I'm going to be here and here. The thing is, we go up. The king cannot pick up this pawn because he has to be there, and we go here. We are very active, so if this pawn advances, all these pawns are going to be picked up, so not possible yet. Let's wait a little bit, and yeah, we are queening or delivering checkmate. This pawn is unstoppable, but too slow. This is the problem. We are here, there is no queen yet, and we are checkmating the king. This is the whole idea. If these pawns were here, let's say, here with this black pawn here, this is not working. This is about a timing, but good results by white. We learned something. Hey, let's go, let's check the chat. Guys, okay, we're quiet today. Let's see. Let me play another puzzle. And here we are. In this case, the rook, we are going against the king. This rook could be taken, but I think if we can activate this rook, and queen can create magic with this pawn coordinating, because the rook can pivot in this with this pawn in these 2 squares, f4 and h4, and the pawn is defended by the queen. So this move looks very, very strong. If the queen is changed, so gives itself for the rook in exchange of the rook, we check the king and then pick up this rook, and of course the queen and 2 undeveloped rook and knight, yeah, are not a match for the queen. So there is no castle. no fortress. So let's go. Wow, I missed something. Oh, okay, it's a mistake. Let's redo and then revisit this idea. I don't know about the. Oh, go cutting out the king. Going here is even stronger. This square, no piece can go there. So we go here and checking the king, defending the pawn, and the king has only two legal squares. This and this. This is going to be checkmate, so the king steps up. And then what? We deliver a check here. The king has only this square. Our queen is here. Oh my god. Can we go on with the checks? No! Oh, come on. We deliver a checkmate with the pawn. Look who is there. Defending the rook and the pawn. Okay. That's it. A checkmate with the pawn. So it's like this. King steps up. Checkmate. Yep. Beautiful checkmate. Let's analyze it. And I didn't see this. Wait a minute. The king goes there. I didn't see this. This checkmate. Bam. Okay. But checkmate in two. Missing everything. What is the defense of this? I want to know. Rook. Let's check. King g3. Okay, I want to pivot to any of these two squares. And if we go here, what's going on? Check. Is the king going where? King going there. Oh, the knight blocks. If we do this, the knight blocks and the attack is over. Oh my god. Very, very bad. So the king has to move. So cutting up with the queen here, a key resource. And now we are going to play another puzzle. Let's see if we can do this right. Okay, the diagonals, crazy. In this case we have a check here, activating the queen, pressuring this bishop, and yeah, it's going to be like this. We are picking up this bishop. Wait a minute. Not so sure. A check here could be very, very nasty. What about a quiet move? Something without a check. Like queen here. Setting up a checkmate, a threat towards the bishop, reserving the check of this diagonal for the bishop maybe, and more importantly controlling this square as well with the bishop to be able to defend this check. This could be an idea. So after this, somewhere this square has to be defended, maybe here, and then we can create something. Because what about this move? This move, you do this. No, this looks very good. Then we go here. No, you go with the queen. Wait a minute. Let's go here. You go with the queen. We pick up that, and then there is no check. Yeah. No, it's queen here. And with the rook, going up with the rook, we have this check. The rook has to come back, and then we have this check. And after this check, there is nothing better than going here with the king. We pick up this bishop, check, covering with the queen, but then it's already too much. We can exchange queens and win with our bishop pair and this powerful pass pawn. So yeah, we're doing fine. Let's go here. Oh, going there, come on, so easy. Let's go to the analysis board and check. Ah, we take and defend this square as well. Yeah. So no need to be. And what about this? Was it winning as well? Yeah, it's also winning. You only have this square. Ah, it's fourth. Okay. And then yeah. Ah, the king can go here. That's the difference. Yeah, still winning, but more difficult. Okay, interesting. Let's go and do, I think, the last puzzle, and this is going to be a fun one. Oh my god, just a rook, and we are almost checkmating with the king move. We have to control this dark square, g7, so that the king doesn't have any square to leave this file. And rook and knight are clumsy to defend this. They are not very well coordinated on this file, and it's going to be checkmate. Okay, very nice, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next stream. If you like this kind of videos, please drop a comment. I can create more of them. If you think that the pace is too slow, you can also comment it. The music, anything, any feedback is welcome. And yeah, this is my thinking process. Some of the puzzles were well done and we cracked the code, but some of them were kind of difficult, or we weren't thinking in the right way, and we made mistakes. So it's life, but we learn along the process, and I hope you pick up some keys on how to solve these puzzles. So I hope you enjoy. Bye guys, see you in the next